Okay, so Alex from DSG is going to show us, is this the report card? Is that the best way to say it?
Grade report.
Grade report for DSG.
Yeah, and what we do is we use an algorithm to create our grades. We don't actually have a grader just look at the card and then grade it according to what they see subjectively. What we want to do is we want to make sure that they hit every piece of damage on the card. We have 4 zones. So this is zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4. They'll say what damage is on the edges, what's on the corner, and what's on the surface in zone 1, and continue on down the line through our grading system. And then on the back, we have zone 5, 6, 7, and 8, and we do the same thing.
Okay.
Now the algorithm calculates the grade after that. So then you get a grade report that comes up, and it tells you exactly what damage led to your grade. So you see this card, we scan the QR code, and it gives you information about every hit that we made. So you'll see a surface score right here, 1 in zone 2. So there was surface damage in that zone, and then everything else was pretty much mint. This thing was an amazing card. So we only had 1 ding on the zone 2 on the surface. We had 55, 45 centering. To get a perfect, a flawless diamond in our system, which is a perfect card, you'd have to have 50-50 centering on the front and the back and have no damage at all.
So if that had no ding and it was a 0 score on every quadrant, it wouldn't be a 10, it would be something else.
A flawless diamond.
Diamond.
It would be a 10, and they would say flawless diamond instead of
Got it.
And then you can see the back right here, no damage on the back. And so we are giving you exactly the information as to how we're assessing the grade on this card.
I love that. Can people get access to this now, or is that not released yet?
This has been active as soon as we launched. So you scan the back of the card, the QR code, and every card has its information on it.
You're getting like surface, edge, all those different components for each quadrant.
Yes.
And then that's all calculated.
Then it's all calculated.
That's a lot of data.
A lot of data. It's a huge amount. So one of the things that's going to be in our population reports is not just information about the particular card and the grades, but when we get enough cards in the system, and we have a little over 80,000 cards in the system right now, when we get enough cards, you're gonna have set information. So you'll know which sets grade how and why.
You're like boiling the data up into different, basically, so you can curate the data and read it in different ways that you want to see it.
Now you're going to notice that Nightfall is the edges are going to have more damage on them, and they're less likely to get the grades and 10s because of so much edge damage because of the cuts. And now you can see that aggregate data from the sets, and you'll see that one set grades a certain way and another set grades another way.
Will that data be available to the public?
Yes, in our that's what our population reports are going to be. It's not just going to be about a specific card. It gives you macro statistics overall, not just our grading company, but how those cards performed mint fresh out of the box.
Now, if I go out to your website right now, is that available, or that's coming out? When do you think that's available?
Probably in another month or 2.
Okay, and then what's your site?
It's www.dsggrading.com.
Okay, awesome. You guys need to check that out, and I'm assuming when that's ready, you guys are going to do a big announcement so everybody knows.
That's going to be huge. It's going to innovate. It's going to totally innovate the whole population.
We're analytics type of people, right? Like when you invest, you want data. We don't know how this is going to change how people investing in cards potentially, right? Because you're going to get data based on certain sets.
Yes. What we're going to do is it's not going to be isolated to just one grading company. What we're going to do is we're going to show the damage that happens within mint fresh cards in general as a whole as they come in.
Okay.
So now you see where the damage occurs in certain types of cards because of how they were done. Okay, surfaces weren't done really well. We had hollow bleeds, we had all this stuff, and that was endemic in that set.
It's interesting because that's almost feedback potentially to the manufacturers.
You better believe it. Now they're like, well, they're being held accountable now.
Quality control.
A shoddy kind of product,
that's awesome.
and everybody sees where their discrepancies.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for giving this behind the scenes look at the process for DSG, and that's coming right from the source from Alex at DSG. Awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.